Greetings! It's Iain from RTO here. Welcome to the final new album review of the day, the third video for today. That's 6 videos in 2 days. Wow. And today we're looking at the brand new album from Gong, Unending Ascending. Now Gong. Now I didn't know much about Gong, I'd heard of them, but I'm going to give a shout out to a great supporter of the channel, and that's Zeb. And if it wasn't for Zeb, I wouldn't be listening to Gong. So thank you very much. Now, this band, what a history. Formed in Paris in 1967 by David Allen and Gilly Smith. Who's been through this band? Oh, let's try and that's what there's. Didier Malherbe, Pip Pyle, Steve Hillage, Mike Howlett, Tim Blake, Pierre Molang, Bill Bruford has been in it, Dave Stewart's contributed. So many versions. Now the band now is the band that sort of David Allen did his last recordings with. This is their first album since The Universe Collapses in 2019. But apparently this is one of the most stable lineups of Gong that's ever been. So this album came out on the 3rd of November. And the band at the moment is Iain East, who's been sort of been playing with them for a few years on bits on saxophones and woodwinds, Fabio Golfetti on guitars, Cheb Nettles on the drums, Dave Stewart on bass, and Kavas Torabai on guitars and vocals. So let's have a look at this album. So the first track is called Tiny Galaxies. What a great track. Psychedelic. This could have been on an album in 1968. Some great guitar work here. I don't know if it's Kavas or Fabio. Lots of little tones and textures. A great saxophone from Iain East. You know, he's played saxophone on quite a few albums, and I love how it's sort of just a little bit off kilter, which is something that you always get with Gong. I love this track. It is so good. What a great track to open the album with. Then we have My Guitar is a Spaceship. What a title. It's straight out of the old Gong. You know, they've had teapots and all sorts in their career. Some great drumming on this from Cheb Nettles. The vocal harmonies, you've got the, you know, 4 of them that do the do vocals on this. It's wonderful. It's got that lovely early sound of, you know, David Allen's vision. I like this. Again, it's just up there. I've got to be careful how I say this. The next track is called Ship of Ishtar. Atmospheric, ambient, psychedelic, lovely textures and sounds. Some beautiful flute on here from Iain East. One of my favourite tracks on this album already. It's just a very modern, progressive fusion track. Absolutely brilliant track. Track 4 is called Arcturus. I think that's how you pronounce it. Great guitar solo on here. I'm not quite sure who's playing it. There's a little bit of whispering on here, you know, paying homage to Gilly. You know, what I like about this album, it's paying homage to the people that put this band together, David and Gilly. Fantastic. It's great to hear these songs in 2023. It's just like putting on an album from 71, 72. It's just takes you back to them early albums, which I love. Then we have a track called All Clocks Reset. Typical sort of old style gong, jazz fusion, prog, some great drumming on here. Iain's saxophone is just that bizarre sound that we got in the early days. It is just, as it says, all the clocks reset. It's restart for day one. This is really paying homage to the original lineup of Gong. I think it's absolutely amazing. I mean, yeah, when I first listened to this, I thought, God, this reminds me so much of old. Then we get my favourite track on here. It's called Choose Your Goddess. I'm not quite sure how I pronounce that. Again, this comes straight out of the old style. Lovely guitar work on here. The highlight of this track, though, is Iain's saxophone. Absolutely top drawer saxophone playing in that wonderful tones that he has brought. Then we get Lunar Innovation, sorry. Sort of carries on from the previous track. We've got some lovely harmonies, very eerie sound to it. Really is sort of the part two of these two tracks put together. Really good. Then we have Asleep Do We Lay. This is the last track. It's a more gentle song, ambient, some nice ambient sounds, and it's got a little bit of vibraphone. So here we come in with a bit of homage to the Pierre Milan period of Gong, who used lots of vibraphone, and I love vibraphone. This track sounds really good under the headphones. I listened to it the other night under the headphones, and wow, I always like to listen to one of the new albums under the headphones so I can really get into it, and it's an absolutely ambient. Well, what a super album. I think this is probably the best Gong album for a very long time. Okay, no original members, but it's got the spirit of all those that have been in the band and no longer with us. It pays homage to David, Gilly, Pierre, Didier. That there's little bits and some of the guitar work with Steve Hillage, and we know Steve Hillage is still about, but it's sort of, they haven't forgotten how this band started, the present members, and I think there's so much respect there for a band. I think that's very dear to these musicians, and they're continuing on with the sort of memory of the good stuff. It's a legacy. They're carrying on that legacy. Very strong prog album. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 8.5. Okay, that's it for this week, folks. Busy old week, so I'm not doing anything this weekend, not even any surprises for you. I'm having a weekend off, but I'll be back on Monday, and we're going to kick off with an ex-member of Chrome, Damon Edge. We're going to look at his solo albums, and also our classic album is from The Grateful Dead, and the great album American Beauty. So all it leaves me to do is say have a great weekend, everybody, and I will see you all on Monday. Bye for now.